You're watching and listening to Conscious Evolution Media, shifting global consciousness at consciousevolutionmedia.com.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Kids Talk Foundation, a global nonprofit organization providing youth advocacy, television programming, and training services in the United States, along with comprehensive medical and educational services for the developing world. Most recently in Kenya, Africa, where Kids Talk Foundation provides a feeding program, medical care, and educational services to over 1,300 young people each day. Please help our youth and place your donation. Go to www.kidstalk.org.
Are you in the entertainment industry? If you answered yes and you want to promote yourself, your passion, and profession, check out Creative Independent Artist magazines at CIAartists.com. Endorsed by Kids Talk Foundation worldwide.
Hello there, once again, this is Your Money and Your Mindset, and I'm your host, Laura Whiteout. Welcome to another fascinating show. As usual, I have very interesting guests I bring on the show who are experts who are going to help you with your business, whether it is in your mindset, whether it's in the area of you getting your act together in terms of getting yourself out there, known online. Well, in this case, you're in luck, because today I have two lovely ladies who are basically experts in that field who will help you as the entrepreneur get on with what you do best while they look after this aspect, which is building a website presence and making sure that you ask the right questions and you get the right answers from your from the people who love what you do and are clamoring to come and pay you money to do that. So my guests are Jules Tarrant and Hailey Wilson from Live, Laugh, Lead. Okay, they are the owners of a company that specializes in helping entrepreneurs, as I said, establish an online presence, which nowadays, folks, you know, is just so important if you're going to get to the number one spot on the number one page of Google searches. So it's like getting a big free kick if you're out there. As you know, running a business is not just running a business of your products and services, but making sure you get all the other boxes ticked, right? And so in terms of building an online business, it's not something that people naturally gravitate to. And most people will say, I'll leave it to the end, when in fact, this is one of the most important things. And we'll get Hailey and Jules to talk about that. And most people, if you're a female in this sort of industry, you probably do not like the idea of having to talk to a techno geek. And I don't blame you. And so Hailey and Jules become the interface, the human interface, who are basically warm, inviting, understanding, and will take you by the hand to get you through the process so that you get on doing what you do best. As a coach, as a business owner, as somebody who delivers a product or something that you believe in, a widget. So without further ado, welcome Hailey and welcome Jules. How are you?
Yeah, great. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, great. Thanks.
Okay. So as you can see, folks, there's two lovely ladies, and they're in a male-dominated field.
We certainly
so we want to
are.
ask them, certainly are, and we want to ask them first and foremost is like, how did you arrive at this point? I mean, you didn't just wake up one day and decided, look, I'm going to be an SEO expert, and that's a big word, SEO. Okay, so tell us about yourselves.
Well, we can start with me if you like. I've been a business coach and a personal coach for many, many years. I've managed businesses, both my own businesses and other people's. And one of the things that I continually get struck by is people working really, really hard and putting a lot of passion into their project, but not allowing themselves to really get out there enough so that they can get that income stream to make it all worthwhile. We go into business so that we can create a lifestyle, but often our lifestyle becomes even more restricted when we have it than having a job, because we become a slave to it. We've got to pay the mortgage. So what meeting up with Hailey, and Hailey will take you through her background in a minute. we discovered there was a real need out there for people to get assistance that was technical, but we could communicate in a non-technical way and kind of do some hand-holding for people so they could really, achieve their dreams.
My background's basically pretty much how I got into SEO, I guess, from the start was I had a bricks and mortar business. So I was trying to generate, new clients and leads via traditional means, I guess, through newspapers, yellow page ads, anything that I could pretty much get my hands on, and found that anything that they basically weren't working. So me being me, I thought I'd have a crack at doing something myself. And that's pretty much how, pretty much how it started. So it was about 6 or 7 years ago now. And pretty much taught myself, and now generating leads and traffic for other businesses, and building websites that convert as well, which is really cool. And being able to work with Jules is awesome, because she just brings in that other part that I didn't have to the business. And so so between the two of us, we're having some fun and getting some really great results now.
So in that sense, we're just going to go off on a tangent then. If people out there, if you are a solopreneur, it's basically you're the boss. Now, in this case, I'm just going to talk to you guys out there that you see here, this is a partnership, and is a synergistic partnership. As Hailey has said, 2 heads are better than one. And you bring a new dynamic into it. And it's actually, folks out there, if you think struggling on your own is getting to be a bit tedious, think about the idea of bringing in a partnership. And I'm sure both Hailey and Jules can actually mentor you through that, as in finding the right partner, the right fit, so that you both complement each other rather than butt heads, if that's the case. If you're afraid that it's not going to work out, well, there are instances when that would happen, but I think Jules and Hailey will be able to show you, the sorts of people that you want to partner with in these sorts of things. Okay, that was just an aside. Now back to the main point here. First of all, with websites, if you're an entrepreneur and you're not a technophile, all of this is going to be basically geek speak, as in SEOs, CSS, that sort of a thing, as in cascading styles, whatever pages, etc. And you're not going to be
Laura. Well done.
Oh, thank you. I studied. I brushed up on that. No, but the thing is that for lots of people, they don't know. They don't necessarily want to know. They just want it to work. Okay, they just want it to work, and that is the worst thing you can bring to a web designer and say, please just make it work. They can't get in your head to understand your vision, first of all. Now, so can you just walk us through what is the difference between a website, as in ho-hum, and one that really draws people to it, gets people engaged, and gets people excited and interested in what you have to offer, whether it's a product or a service? And I think that's the part where a lot of people would like to have happen, but they cannot translate that to the web designer. So just tell us what sort of questions they should be asking and what sort of instructions they should be giving their web designer.
Yeah, I think the clients out there are very similar to what we have in our experience found our competitors or colleagues in the industry are like. We either have the people who are big into the functionality or big into the look. So you've either got designers out there, it's all about graphic, or designers out there, which is all about functionality and it doesn't look very good. So we really try to marry those things up. Well, we do marry those things up. And so with our clients, we understand pretty quickly whether they're into the functionality or into the design, and we walk them through the area that they're not so comfortable with and let them have as free a hand as the area that they may be comfortable with. And certainly some clients aren't comfortable with either of those, so we can just help them along with that. Really, in terms of really grabbing someone's attention when they first get on your website, not many people know that, even though we do it every day, that it's less than 3 seconds that someone will have a look at your site before they click off it or go on to your competitor. So you've really got less than 3 seconds to say, hey, look at me, this is worthwhile staying on my page. So some of the ways that we can do that, Hales, did you want to chip in here?
Well, I was just going to say probably one of the biggest things, one of the biggest differences that we bring is that we really like to kind of get inside, each business's clients' heads, basically. So We like to know what they want to achieve from the website for a start, what kind of target market they're after, and yeah, really what they're wanting the website to achieve. And then we build it from a design side of things around that. Jules is the funky designer, pulls in some cool graphics and stuff, great looking sites, and yeah, and from a functionality side of things, make it work. So whether it's selling products or whether it's you know, building a list, it just depends on what the client wants to achieve. So that's one big thing we definitely bring. We take a lot of time really nutting that out to start with. I think that's probably one of the biggest things that we do. Before we even build it, we want to get in our heads what the client needs, basically.
Because it's not going to do you a lot of good to have an online business card, which is what a lot of people say. I need a website. You know, clearly my business isn't online. I need a website. And they go and spend a lot of money on an online business card that basically tells people what they do and how they can be contacted. But is that really what the objective is of that client? Do they not want something more? Do they not want their user to have an experience? So in addition to really nutting out what the client wants as an objective from the site, we also look at what their user needs to experience to enjoy that site and hopefully inquire about their products and services. So some of the key elements for a website, just for those listening who have a website or are thinking about creating one, it really needs to be engaging from the get-go. So really busy sites, and you've all seen them, you get on and there's black bits and bright neon things flashing at you and things rotating and images moving. You know, basically when I look at that, I just go flick. My eyes, my senses just can't stand that kind of overload, and I can't even find out where I want to go. So simple, clean sites doesn't mean that it can't be really bright and engaging, but clear, so that people can go, okay, so that's something pretty, but this is where I have to click on to get my information. That's pretty important. Intuitive navigation. You know, we're really blessed to have Apple products surrounding us, which are very much about intuitive navigation, so that, you know, kids can use them without even opening the manual because it's just so intuitive. So when we work with clients, we make sure that the flow of the site is really intuitive, which is really quite important. Another thing that a lot of people forget to do is give their users an instruction. So if we're in the market of websites, mobile phone apps and search marketing, which is our business, we need to instruct our viewer of our website, where do we want them to go? When they've gone there, what do we want them to do? We want them to give us a call. We want them to email us. We want them to have a look at our latest blog to get hints and tips. You know, there's things on our site, which is livelovelead.com.au, which says, you know, click here to get 7 secrets to website success. There's a clear instruction there. And all your copy, which is the text, the body text, needs to have a call to action. So I've told you about us. This is what you need to do. So most people forget that when they've just got their business card type site. Give your user an instruction and they tend to follow it.
Okay, we've got a question here. It says, in terms of engaging via Facebook, so how would you do it? Because Facebook is, it's like a gazillion people on it. So how do you get them to, you know, look at this, I've just posted something that's important to my business, or, you know, that's something I want to share. So that's a valid question, I think.
Really good question.
Yeah, look, I think the whole Facebook thing, it's I think probably one of the biggest things that people make the mistake of is they think, oh, I'll just post a few Facebook posts and then, you know, people are going to comment and like and you know, share my stuff, but they don't. So, and then they give up. The whole thing about social media is it's and we've all done it, I'm sure. But the whole thing about social media is really, you know, taking your time. It's just being consistent with it as well. So if you're posting, say once a day, then post once a day. If you're posting once a week, post once a week, kind of thing. But the other thing is too, just it's all about, I guess, trying to make it engaging. So asking your followers questions, really trying to include them. So it's not just about posting information. It's about how you can actually interact with that client online. So
it's about engaging. So say you were a dog training company and you have a Facebook business page or a website with the Facebook posts coming up on your website, which is a great way to get more people engaging with your Facebook page, and definitely having a like button and those kinds of things. Say you're posting that you've just got new stock from somewhere else in the world of fantastic dog walking leads, some new whiz bang thing. You describe it, you talk about it, but instead of just leaving it there, say, what do you find is most effective when you're walking your dog? And then people go, I find that, if I've got one of those retractable things, it works easier because I don't have to be pulled all the time or whatever. But people, when they're asked a question, a percentage of people will respond because they want to engage. But if you just finish it on your statement, people just go, oh, that's really interesting. Thanks very much. Let's move on to the next site or post or what have you.
Yeah.
Did that answer the question?
Yes. It's actually the psychology of it. Nature abhors a vacuum. When you ask a question, there's a compulsion to answer it.
Yeah. It's like putting your hand
people
out and somebody will shake it.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of resistance for someone to not shake your hand if you put it out like that towards them. So you guys give it a try. But so that kind of we're full of hints and tips because we love to share our knowledge and we love to see people succeed. So, in terms of that kind of thing, whatever you're doing, ask yourself, how is this of interest to my audience, my target market, and how can I use this to engage them? And asking questions is a really good way to do that.
Wow, fantastic. Look, even in that 15 minutes, you've just given away a whole bunch of secrets. Great idea.
Can we just give you one more, because this is really important? A lot of people don't realise that on their Facebook personal pages, when they're putting lots of business information, that can actually be taken down by Facebook. So it's important that if you're going to use a page primarily for business, that you actually make it a business page. Now, that's a whole different show, different interview, and we can certainly do that at some stage if people are interested to do that. But what we recommend is, if you're in starting off your business and you're not sure about whether your personal page has got too much information, the golden rule is pretty much 20% business, 80% personal. And the other thing that's really important to do is have a second admin person on your Facebook page. That means if we invite Lawwhy to our Facebook business page, personal page, and Facebook says, you know what, you guys are putting too much about your business, we're just going to take it down without you knowing about it. If we don't have Lawwhy as our second admin person, we've lost all of that information because they've taken us down. But the second admin person can get access, copy and paste the information, and perhaps put it onto a business Facebook page. So always have a second admin person on your page just in case it gets taken away from you, because they've got every right to do so without telling you.
Wow.
Yeah, really good tip, that one. Yeah, really good tip. It's news to a lot of people.
Yeah, most people who create Facebook pages just create it themselves and just have one admin. So when you're creating a Facebook page, always have at least two admin.
Yeah, so we thought that was worthwhile taking a couple of minutes to tell you, because that's pretty crucial.
Well, folks out there, I think you should thank these people, Jules Tarrant and Hailey Wilson, for just giving you that very important heads up about what Facebook can do to your business. That it's a bit like what Google did, and then they started to sharpen up and get very tight in terms of what you can post and what you can put up as, legitimate ads, etc. So
exactly.
It constantly evolves. It's organic. Yes. So this thing is basically what you're saying, that people actually need to keep up with the times, isn't it? Yeah. And somebody will turn around and say, look, I haven't got time. I just want to run my business. If I'm a coach, I just want to coach. I don't want to have to deal with this tinkering around the edges.
Exactly.
So do you guys literally do that and monitor the whole thing for them? So in a sense, you've got their back.
Yeah, depending on what service they hire from us. So if they hire us for a service of, can you check out that everything that I'm doing is to the level? Can you make sure that I'm getting X, Y, Z? We'll do that for them. So we can create a package to do one narrow service or a lot of services for them. Whatever it is, just talk to us and we can tailor something. That's not a problem. But, it's a bit like if I was a coach, which I used to be a coach for many, many years and had a very successful business, which was great. The last thing I want to do is trying to keep up to date with stuff that isn't my passion. So, that's the same reason that I have a cleaner, because if I can focus on my business, I can afford to pay someone else to do the stuff that doesn't turn me on and that I don't like doing.
Yes,
So
it's better value
outsource
for money as well.
Absolutely, much better value for money.
Yeah.
And to really know that your online presence is correct, following by the rules, and maximising your exposure to your marketplace is really great.
Oh, that's fantastic. So viewers,
Yeah.
as you can see, these two young ladies are actually, human.
Thank you for calling us young.
Yes. And basically have got your number, in a sense that if this is something you've been looking for and you felt uncomfortable or intimidated going to some web design company, which is full of, by and large, males, okay? No disrespect, but the point is you want to feel comfortable talking about what you do in your business to the person who is going to be designing your website that's going to draw traffic and actually convert people to paying customers. So Hailey and Jules Tarrant seem to be the two people here who have got the ability to interface, because I know you two have got people who are, you call them your tech ninjas, who actually do the can I call them the propeller heads?
Yeah, the propeller heads is good.
Yeah, who actually do that stuff, and they're very good at it, and you know how to speak their language and translate it from what the client who comes to you says. I want this website, and you can actually translate, this means you need A, B, C, D, E on it, which they will not be able to do if they approach the Mr. Propellerhead themselves. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. So we specialise in communicating, sort of drawing out, and that's where our coaching skills come in, drawing out the needs of the client, working out the user experience that's desired, and then getting that, translating that. We do some of the stuff, but the real coding stuff that is really kind of propellerhead stuff, we make sure that that's done. We check everything to our extremely high standards and then say to our client, check this out. They may wish to make changes, and that process goes. So we're really, we're also a bit of idea machines. So quite a few of our clients have profited significantly from something we've gone, oh, have you tried this or thought about approaching this company or whatever? And away they go. We can't help ourselves with that because we just love to get people out there, including ourselves. So we've got ideas coming 10 to the dozen, and they're free.
And they're free, definitely.
It's free.
It's like what Zig Ziglar said, you help enough people get what they want and you will get what you want.
Yeah, well, I mean, we love our lives, so and we're very much abundance minded. We don't do that kind of thing where we'll hold back so we can have it. There's more than enough money and ideas and success out there for all of us.
Yeah.
So if we can build a platform for you guys, then we'd love to do that.
Look, I just love that mindset, that mentality. The show is called Your Money and Your Mindset, and it really is, isn't it? You use that word abundance. Now, a lot of people at this point in time will say, but businesses are struggling, shutting down, the economy. You hear that from the mainstream media. Yet you're saying that, yes, your business actually can flourish under these circumstances.
It is flourishing, yeah.
Yeah, no, not your business. I mean businesses.
As everyone's. Yeah.
It can flourish using the sort of principles that you use in your business, which is, like I said, an abundance mindset, among other things. Do you mind just sharing a bit more about that? Because I think this is going to be helpful per se to any business, not just like website designs.
Okay, well, Hailey, you just give me a nudge when you want to get a word in edgeways, because this is an area that we're both pretty passionate about. Let's take Arnold Schwarzenegger as an example. He did the bodybuilding, excelled at that. He did acting, excelled at that. And then he went into politics. Okay, so there's the typical politician scandals, but he excelled at that. He was the governor. To me, that shows very much that success is transferable. The skills of confidence, putting yourself out there, doing a great job. I'm not suggesting that he did or didn't, but these are qualities for a successful business owner, entrepreneur. Having ideas and backing yourself. These are all, this is something that all of us can do, no matter whether we're successful mothers, and it's our first business. If we can do mothering successfully, if we can change a nappy and get our kids in bed well fed, then we're a success as far as I'm concerned. So that's transferable to another career. Same with your business. Now, there is a high percentage of businesses that don't thrive, but learning is vast. in anything that you try and may not succeed. I'm not suggesting you're not going to succeed, but your learning is vast. One of the things that we believe in and that we can help with our clients as well is that no matter what's happened, you can take the learning from that and a new opportunity is right within the next minute. You don't have to wait for a month for a new opportunity. If you've got that mindset that you're supported, that's another thing that we share in common, and our partnership is great, that people are actually conspiring to support us, our families, our business, ourselves as human beings, ourselves as women. We strongly believe that there's lots of people who are conspiring to make us the best we can be, and our job is to go along with that and not resist that. So no matter what happens in the business or anything else, we know that there's another opportunity for a new client, for a new business, for a joint venture, whatever, every minute of the day. So if we miss one because we're having a bad day or because we stuff it up, it's only a matter of seconds before something else comes along.
Yeah.
And when you have that kind of abundance mindset, it means that you actually see the opportunities that come along. If you don't have that mindset, you're stuck in the pity party. And believe me, we have pity parties, but because we just go, yeah, don't talk to me unless you want to be pity party with me, it's over with pretty quickly. And then, it's just a matter of time before something magnificent comes up and we go, of course it has. Of course it has. Yeah. It always was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind
fantastic.
of my take on that. Yeah.
Well, I think the other thing...
With you, Hailey, I was going to say, the other thing that I notice is that you always talk about looking on the bright side, the glass is half full kind of thing. But also it sort of segues nicely into what you used to do, isn't it, Hailey? You used to be a champion javelin thrower. So you got to have focus, and you got to be really sharp about what you want, right? In terms of the business. So do you obviously have to do that with some of your clients who come in who are a bit sort of airy-fairy and a bit vague, like, oh no, just make it pretty kind of thing, but you know what they want. So how do you get them through that? Just talk us through that, hey?
Really just kind of slowly a lot of the time. It's just talking to them. It's just letting them talk about their business, their clients, what they need, and then just asking questions, really. Because I think what they do is they get in their head what they think they want it to look like because of what they love, not because of what their client loves or what their client might love or what their client needs. It's all about them. So I guess helping them sort of shift the focus off, their needs and stuff and back onto the clients, basically. So it's probably the best way.
Hailey has a magnificent way of being able to speak with people so that she's very much on their team, but guiding them into what's going to work for them without saying, no, that's not going to work. Like, there's never that kind of judgment. It's more, her style is much more, okay, that sounds like a great idea, but if we do this X, Y, Z, we can really boost that in a different way. And clients just find that so refreshing, so that their ideas are always welcome, but channeled into a way that's actually going to work for them.
So you give them the perspective they otherwise will not be able to have, because they're you can't see the forest from the trees because they're so close to the action. Yeah?
Exactly right. Exactly right.
I think once you start talking about possibilities and options and that kind of thing, then it opens their minds as well. So you go from like a square box basically into really opening up into any possibility really, and opportunities that they might not have even thought of. So but we both do that. Like, it's once we're both on a call, we're both very passionate, and so we're pretty much the same that way. So
we really enjoy speaking with our clients, and we really enjoy seeing their results, because we treat each business almost like it's our own, because with the coaching and things, we've been involved with lots of business. We know what works and what doesn't work.
Okay, so you've actually sort of done business coaching, as in coach people who run businesses, yes?
Yes, absolutely. Yep. And I've been doing that, helping with that for maybe 15 years, where either personal coaching or business coaching, really helping to get people clear about what it is they want, finding a solution and taking action on that, and then rewarding themselves for it. So it's the same process. It's again, like that Arnold Schwarzenegger thing, it's a transferable skill. Yeah.
Okay. So basically you've just, encapsulated what your business does that is unique and different from every other business that's online or in a directory where you can say, web designer, and 1,000 companies will turn up, if you did a Google search. So you're saying basically you are different. Your unique point selling proposition is the fact that you get into the client's heads, in a sense. You get on side with them, and you actually tease out of them what they want but haven't been able to articulate. And you do it in a way that is non-judgmental, but also you help them do the, this is how I want it to look, by your association with your ninjas, your tech ninjas, who understand your version of what you're saying, because you've translated the client's, I guess, big picture vision, and you've done the nuts and bolts. Because I know for some people, getting to the nuts and bolts, it's almost like going to the dentist. They'd rather go and have a root canal than do that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bit like, I want to get in my car and I want it to work when I push the accelerator and start the engine in the reverse order. I don't want to have to know which bit the petrol comes through in order for making that happen. I just want a car that's safe, looks good, and away I drive. So for a lot of people, that's websites as well. And we really love being able to take all that load off people's hands and minds. As I said before, some people want to be in every aspect of it. That's fine with us as well. Some people just want to go, we've just finished a job for a client. He kind of where this is what I want, girls. And we just made it happen, and he's just absolutely delighted. He can't believe how happy it is. Because we use all of our knowledge and skills in business and in web design and functionality to make it happen. So, no matter how much you want to be involved or how little, as long as it's going to suit you, that's big for us. It may be a site that we love, but if it doesn't reflect you, the nature of your business and your style, then you're not going to love it. And you loving it is what a successful site is about, and your users loving it, of course.
So what I hear is that for you, one size doesn't fit all, and you tailor it specifically for because I know that just anecdotally speaking with other people, that some of them will say, I paid $6,000-7,000 for this website to be built. It's pretty, but it doesn't do much else.
We've gone in and gone, oh no, come to us, but anyway.
Part of our standard contract as well is that within 30 days after it's completely finished, that's all the time of the client saying, yes, I like this, can we have this slightly to the left or what have you. 30 days after we've agreed, job's done exactly like you wanted it, there's still time for edits to say, when I got somebody to do the shopping cart, this wasn't exactly how I wanted it, and we can edit that as well. So, and we do that because we want to make sure that when they're actually using it for their business, have lots of different people using it. It would be a shame if, it was done and dusted, they start doing business and they realise that something's not going to work as they intended, because you can't always predict your users.
I was going to say, I think the other big difference with us is as well, that's a really good point. I think we allow full access and control of the website back to the client as well. So it's not about, say when the website's finished and we hand it over, that if they want any changes made, that they have to come through us to, say, change some text or something like that. They don't. So rather than people paying more money, which there's no need to, we give them full access and control over their website and teach them as well. So we take them through a bit of education around how to manage the back end of the website and how to update text and images and bits and pieces, so that they can do it themselves. If they run into trouble, of course, we are here, but we really are big on making sure that the client has full control over everything, all files, all everything.
In accordance with our abundance mentality. A lot of our colleagues in the industry really try to lock clients in by either hosting their website on their service so that the client can't move it to somebody, a cheaper package or a better quality package or something like that. We have a real focus on making sure that you have paid this money, you own it, you can do with it what you want to do. If you want to come back to us and have edits done, we'll do that without any problem. But if you want to go and let your brother-in-law tinker around or something like that, or your sister-in-law tinker around, go for your life, because it's your site. You pay the money and you get it to do with what you will.
Wow, that's fantastic. So
it's really important to us.
If people out there are sort of like getting very excited now and want to get in touch with you, how do they sort of contact you? And they don't necessarily, you're an Australian-based company, I mean, it's global. Internet is global, so anybody from anywhere else in the world can actually get in touch with you. So just give us some information about your website and your contact details, please.
Sure.
Okay. Well, the website's livelaughlead.com.au, if you can get my Kiwi accent.
No, can you spell
I get
it
heaps all
out?
the time about that.
Yeah, it's
See?
so it's live, L-I-V-E, laugh, L-A-U-G-H, lead, L-E-A-D, live, laugh, lead, all one word, .com.au. So at this point, I'll translate for.
See, we get to have a lot of fun. Really, she just takes the mickey out of me all day. It's great. I give it back sometimes.
Yeah, you do. So that's the website.
Oh, funny.
Okay.
And the email's just admin@livelaughlead.com.au.
So that's admin, A-D-M-I-N. At Live. Yeah.
And also they can get you on Skype too, can't they?
Yeah, they can. Yeah, Hailey's probably the best one. She's on Skype, about 15, 16 hours a day. So
so you can get hold of me, Hailey, Hayley, Wilson, Wilson, and then online, Online, and it's all one word, all lowercase.
Hailey Wilson online.
Yeah, that's my Skype ID.
All right. So yeah, there are various ways of getting in touch with you if people want to at least have a first conversation with you about whether there's the possibility of them trusting you with their existing website or coming out with something new and saying, I'd like you to help me because you seem to speak my language, which is layman's terms, for lots of these things. Yeah,
we've actually got something that might appeal to people, and that's called a viability consultation, which is, sounds very, wordy, but basically what it means is that for a relatively small fee, because it takes a fair amount of our time, we go right through any existing website, tell you all the things from the front of the page, which is the content, the headings, the graphics, the look of the site, things that work well, things that could be improved. And we also look at the back end, things that aren't saying to Google, hey, put me on a high ranking when people search in my area for what the services are. So we go right through your site from front and back of the site and put a whole lot of recommendations, which you can then you get in report, plus you also talk to us so we can explain anything you don't understand. And you can take that and give it to your brother or sister-in-law that's, savvy with the website and get them to do it. Or you can ask us and we can give you a price for doing those services as well. So we've found quite a few businesses that have loved that because they've gone, this isn't really working for me, but I've got no idea where to start. And if they've got a pretty small budget, they can just prioritise. Okay, so the first thing we need to is make the copy or the text in your site something that people want to read instead of something that's not really engaging. So we can do the copywriting for them, and then they can put things into their budget as they wish to, or just say, girls, give me a package for the whole lot, and away we go. So that might appeal to people. Certainly the reason we created it was because we thought if that was the position we were in, we'd like to have an idea of how extensive the work is to get a site up and running to really work well on a global platform.
Okay, when you say up and running to area that's acceptable, we are actually talking about ranking, right? Ranking on Google.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Basically, yes. And so you're giving for basically a good offer today in terms of giving somebody's website a health check, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, it's pretty much
a very in-depth one.
Yeah, an assessment. Yeah.
And whether it's flatlining or not. Well, really, because folks, some of you might be in that position. You've paid a lot of money and you've got a website that may be pretty but doesn't rank, and your ranks and smell, but ranks on top, number one, page one of Google is what everybody is after. So can you actually help somebody there get that happening for them?
Absolutely. In so many ways, it's really quite a complex area. We can start talking about black hat strategies and white hat strategies, and, Google slaps you if you do things that aren't the right thing according to them, and they update what they want from us all the time, which is what we have to be across. So yeah, search marketing or SEO is a big area.
It's huge. Yep.
What we actually wanted to offer to your viewers for free was if they contact us via admin at livelaughlead.com.au, we'll actually present them with a report of how they are ranking for a keyword in their field. So again, if it's dog training, we can show them if someone searches Yahoo for dog training, where are you coming up in that and why is that happening? If someone's searching Google for dog training, where are you coming up and why? What is it that you're missing? So we can give them a free report. All you have to do is email us and say free report, or mention your show, Lorway, and we will just get that happening in a couple of days. They'll get the report, and that can give them some really good information on where they're going, because you can hear about Google ranking and Bing and all those kinds of things, but you don't necessarily know why your site isn't ranking and what you need to do.
Right, and usually it's a case of most people's eyes will just glaze over when you mention technical terms like that anyway.
Yeah, it's like talking to me about superannuation.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, next subject. But in this case, it's somebody's business, it's somebody's livelihood. It is important. And so, folks out there, don't shirk the responsibility. Don't stick your head in the sand. These ladies are actually are here to help you get your business resuscitated. If it requires is you getting your website functional, as you say, and also getting traffic to the website and getting people to actually buy your widget or buy your product or buy your services. So that's another thing I want to talk to you about, because you said you spend a lot of time with your clients getting to know them first and foremost, and it's almost like you're having a coaching session with them.
Yeah,
so
it really
my
is,
question is, in terms of their mindset, do you find that invariably, whether surreptitiously or above board, that you actually have to take them through that process of A, developing an abundance mindset, B, getting over their fear of failure, or maybe even they have some sort of subconscious repulsion for money, that becoming wealthy is not on in their books, even though they say yes, they want to become successful and wealthy, that you will pick it up in the course of conversation?
We do. We go, oh, that's an interesting statement. Where's that coming from? Or something like that. Yeah, we absolutely do, because it's so, like, it stands out to us because we are so abundance mindset focused, and it's just so natural to us that it's kind of like, someone saying a racist comment, it's just kind of like, oh, hang on, we've got to pick that up. That's not going to help you. That belief system's not going to help you. Now, are we going to get into a big full-on coaching session about that? Not necessarily. But what we'll do is say to them, okay, so in your business, how is this going to work for you? If your customers or clients are thinking that way, how are you going to go with that? How are you going to work on that? The other thing that we find that we pick up a lot when in terms of belief systems and mindset with our clients is people's need to get it really right. That you don't need to get it right. It's a work in progress. All online marketing is a work of progress. You can just put yourself out there. So we're all about our clients taking action. Certainly the statistics show, which is wonderful for all of us, that people don't want to see polished, highly stylized interactions anymore. They want real. They want what's happening here with you and us, an exchange of information, people sitting, talking to each other, not scripted or, polish. So when people are creating content for their website, it's about being real. It's about being consistent with new information on the website. That's far more important than having it perfect and right, which is an education that our clients really appreciate, because it leads to a lot of procrastination.
Yeah. And just to add to that as well, like I think, with the Viability Consultation, but with our clients and generally, we make sure that there's a market there to market to. If there isn't, we're straight up and we'll tell them straight away. So if they've got their hopes and dreams set on, this idea, or something like that, and there's no market for it, and we do the research and we say, well, hey, this is what we found. Do you still want to go ahead? Then it's their choice then if they want to go ahead, knowing that there may not be a market there for them. So that's another thing that we do. We do the market research around their niche, really. So
we want to know if you want to have your business, whether it's locally exposure. If you want to have exposure in your business, whether locally, nationally, or globally, we need to know how many people are actually searching for your product at the moment. You need to know that, because if it's just a small amount, perhaps you need to widen what you provide, or in the way that you talk about what you provide, that needs to be widened. But it's really handy to know that, you know, maybe 3 million people are searching for what you're offering every week.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you knew that people were plugging into Google your key terms that relate to directly to your business every week, you might want to have a little look about how you can get some of that action.
Yeah, and how competitive it is as well. I think you can have a great idea, a great niche, you know, great traffic driving to this, you know, these keywords of yours. But if they're not, if you're in a competitive niche, then it's going to take a long time to get on page one. So again, that's another aspect that we bring into the market research, as we look at it and say, well, hey, this is what your competitors are doing. This is why they're ranking where they are. You know, we estimate it'll take, you know, XYZ number of weeks, months, whatever, to get on page one. Or it can take anything, you know, it can take a year or 2 years. Like if you're in, say, an insurance or financial sort of industry,
or travel,
huge competition. So that can take a lot longer.
And that's where we can advise you. You know, like if your site's just kind of travel to Tibet, you might have a lot of competition. But if you've got meditation tours to Tibet or something like that, then as people type that in, you could get quite high on the Google rankings, because it's all about trying to say, when I'm sitting in my on my lounge with my laptop at 10 o'clock at night and I'm thinking, gee, I'd like to do this with the kids, I type it in and the exact match for what I'm looking for comes up on that first page, you're on a winner. So it's all about spending that time with experts saying what is going to get me the highest ranking, so people go, that's the one I want. And when they click on the site, they go, wow, this is a great site. I've got everything I need here. I've got an easy to find contact person. I can get to the homepage really easily. And I'm really engaged by the content and the graphics. I'm quite happy to spend time here. And ironically, that also helps your ranking the longer people spend on your site. So it's all, you know, it's all kind of enmeshed together. And that's what our job is to say, you guys, this is what you want. This is how to make it happen.
We're probably overwhelming people, maybe a little bit even now. Like, this is second nature to us. We're in it every day. I mean, I guess that only need to talk to us to get a bit of a feel of how in depth we go with it. But there's so much more. We're only just literally touching on the surface today.
As with all of your businesses,
I
mean,
totally.
you can run seminars and things for days explaining your expertise and people's problems and how you solve them. Same with us. So if there's specific questions, we'd be really happy to take them. And again, we can give you an idea for free about where you're ranking, a really very specific idea of where you're ranking. And also, if you want us to go through your website, we can do that too with the Viability Consultation.
Yeah, you've got nothing to lose by contacting us. Nothing. We're happy as to chat, seeing the report, whatever. So we're here to help. Yeah.
That's fantastic, because what I find coming across here is a very sort of, you know, a very relaxed but professional way of dealing with a client, and so that a client or prospective client will feel comfortable. And not only that, there's the unspoken element of trust, because that is something that is a commodity nowadays that seems to be fairly lacking, especially in corporate businesses where people can just run off with lots of money. Look at Cyprus. 80% of your money can disappear just like that in the name of, you know, bailing out a bank. So here, trust is ever important. And folks, you've seen what they're like. You've spent this time with Hailey and with Jules, and you know that they are, you know, warm, genuine human beings who have got your best interest at heart. Okay, because when you succeed, they succeed. That's the whole idea.
That's exactly right. We know that. So, you know, one of the reasons why we have a 90% conversion rate from anybody who comes to us to ask for any of our services is because people recommend us. They say, you've got to talk to these girls. You know, I just had two just in the 5 minutes before this interview started. Hi, I'm such and such. Friend of mine said, you have got to talk to these girls. Don't talk to anyone else until you've talked to them. And that's just happening to us all the time. So we've got a fair bit of work on. That's why we have a team of people that can help us, but the client interaction is with us.
Yeah.
Okay, that's important, because client interaction to me is like, I'm not talking to a faceless, call center. I'm actually talking to a real life human being who I intuitively feel understands my vision and also my fears and frustrations, if you want to call it that, about this Yeah, and you put it in a context that says, look, it's in a sense, it's your business is quite separate from you as the person, and therefore this you mentioned before, people procrastinate because they're afraid of failing.
Yep, that's right. You can't fail when you put yourself out there. You can't fail to get exposure when you allow yourself to be put out there. It mightn't give you the results that you want, but the very action of saying, I'm going to talk about this today, or I'm going to put a little video on, or I'm going to write some new content here, or I'm going to go out and say to people, would you like to buy my product? Which is actually what business is about. Would you like to buy my product or service? Taking action is only going to benefit you in terms of your confidence. It's not personal if people don't want your services. It might be that they're not the right client for you, but there are many clients out there that are right for you. How are you ever going to know if you don't ask them or give them the opportunity to know about your business? It's just all in your head. It's just all speculation.
Just give it a go.
Give it a go. And that's really what we want to be remembered for in our business.
Yeah.
We want to be remembered as we gave it a go, we give it a go, and we encourage other people to give it a go, and we live a lifestyle that rewards what we want. We work when we want to work. If we're not being productive, we'll go for a walk, we'll watch a show, have a little break, so that when we are working, it's very productive time. And that's another thing we do with our that makes us successful. We don't just say it's 9 o'clock now, so we have to do it. We both look at each other, or one just goes, oh man, I'm not right for it today. Go out for a walk and come back with some energy, and away we go.
Yep.
Okay, so that's kind of your practical ethos, because that was the next question I was going to ask you, is getting to the personal stage about what is it that you do in terms of your success rituals. This is what I ask lots of business people. What is it that you do on a daily basis that sort of keeps the faith, especially when business is slow, or you come up against lots of challenges, technical challenges, etc., that says, okay, I'm still on the right path. So I'll just split it between you girls, so you tell me what is it that you do.
Okay, well, I'll go first, as always. I'll get to jump in any chance I can get. My success ritual is really about being clear about what my values are and living my life and spending my day according to those values. So for me, it's me first, family second, business third. So by the time I start work, I've done what I need to do for the day, feeling good, feeling fresh. I make sure that my kids are all sorted for the day, whether it's, driving them to school, singing times tables on the way to school like we did this morning, making sure everything's set for them when they come home from school. We work from home, so that's another bonus. So for me, my success ritual is that I'm best when I know that I'm living according to my values. If everything's in order and I'm spending and prioritising my time that way, then I know that I'm in the right place, I'm being supported to be a success by everybody I meet, whether it's to learn a lesson or to get great results. And then I'm right to be creative, whether it's in designing or writing or just helping clients to solve issues.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't work when you're just trying to chug along, for the sake of it. It just doesn't work.
No.
What am mine?
Getting up at 5:30, doing an hour of exercise before you start the day. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, so I still exercise. I'm not a exercise Nazi like I once was with training, but
that's all relative, by the way.
But I do like to exercise and just keep fit and keep the energy high as well. I think that one of the other things is if I'm not focused, I'll just go out for a walk or back off and then come back to it later. It's the same thing when I was training with sport. If I was having an off day training, if I started off and it just wasn't happening, I'd just walk away. And either train later or train harder the next day. It didn't matter, there was no point, doing it unless the focus was there, unless the energy was there, because it just wouldn't happen. So same thing with the business. So pretty much, when the focus is on, we can get so much work done, like being very productive. But yeah, if I'm not in the zone kind of thing or space for it, then yeah, just back off for a bit. And it doesn't take long. It just can take a short shift. Bit of a walk, like you say, Jules, or
we're very aware. We're very aware when we're in slog, and when you're in slog, you're not creative, so you're actually not doing your clients or yourself any good. So as soon as we're in slog, and we can recognise it in each other or in ourselves.
Yeah, Jules pulls it up on me a fair bit.
Sometimes it's together, sometimes it's completely separate. we just get out of that energy space. So whether we need to have a nap, do some exercise, do something fun, we've got to get out of that space because it's not productive.
We help each other out, eh?
We help each other out big time. The other 2 success rituals that we have, one is very boring. We drink lots of water and we eat very well. So we make sure we have vegetables and fish and things like that for lunch, to make sure that our bodies are really ripe for being in the zone and creative and fresh and the best we can be. So that's really important.
Yep.
Once or twice we've gotten hot chips when it's been one of those kinds of day and we've just gone, oh, that was a mistake.
And paid for it later.
Yeah, so really looking after yourself
Not
in
a
that
productive
way.
food.
And probably one thing that most people don't do is that we reward ourselves for our successes. So whether a client just is so happy about something that we've just done, or whether we're delighted about some of the passive income things that we're working on and we've reached a milestone, we'll go and do something nice. We might, we're both terrible shoppers, so, we might go and buy a handbag or something we desperately need, which just kind of gets us out and doing things. Or we might, grab the kids and put on a nice party table and have streamers and all that kind of stuff and say, hey, we're doing really well here. So, and let them enjoy it as well, because they like to give their $2 worth on things that we're designing.
We include that.
Yeah, so we include the kids. Really a success ritual is rewarding yourself when you've done a good job, whether that's internally or externally done a good job.
Wow, that's fantastic, because anybody who sort of is contemplating coming to you will probably think, yep, these ladies seem to have it all together. And one thing you mentioned was that phrase self-awareness, which I think is kind of missing for a lot of people, because they're so absorbed in their business and trying to make it work that they forget this other important aspect. And like you say, if you're not feeling productive, stop.
Stop.
Do something different. And we could almost like have you back next show in time to come to talk about getting businesses or coaching people through that I guess that hump of feeling unproductive or feeling very frustrated and coming up against what they call their challenges that's not getting their business to the next level. And especially if there's not just a solopreneur, but let's say 2 people in the business, and as you can see, the dynamics can either really help add synergistically, or it can destroy a business. So you would be very,
absolutely can.
Totally,
You've probably seen that in the sort of people, the clients who come at one person wants one thing, the other person says no, but not in so many words, but from the body language, you realize that they're not on the same page.
That can be tricky.
Which scuttles the whole process anyway. So as in the last minute, can you just tell me, I think this has been a fascinating interview, and getting to know you as not just as businesswomen, but as heart-centered people as well. What is it that you want to leave the world with in terms of your legacy?
I think because of my experience in coaching and counselling, and being a mother of 2 children, my fairly soppy, boring answer is that I feel like I've already done that. So everything else is a bonus for me. Everything else is a bonus. But really to inspire other people to give it a crack or give it a go, and be okay that if you do your best and it's not enough, that isn't a reflection on you. That's just, you can't ask for more than your best. So if I can get other people to understand that that's a really good way to approach life, I'm delighted, but I'm already delighted. So as I said, everything's a bonus. How about yourself?
Pretty much the same. I think just from a business side of things, I think leaving people with a great experience, or having had a great experience working with us, and that it's been fun. It's working obviously now because we're getting great word of mouth. So that's awesome. But that's probably the main focus, that we just want the whole thing to be a great experience. And all I can say is just the fun thing's a big thing for me, just to really enjoy it and enjoy the whole process. And enjoy the clients.
What really turns us on is if Joe Blogs or Jackie Blogs comes and says, I've got this great business, nobody knows about it, or I'm not getting it out there enough. And we look back in a year when Jackie Blogs is totally nailing it as the leader in her industry and saying, we got to help her up one of those ladder.
Big joy factor.
That to us, that to us just totally rings our bell.
Great, that's fantastic. So once again, before we go, just give us your contact details very quickly.
Okay.
You better say that because obviously I'm having trouble.
If you want to email us, it's admin, ADMIN, at livelaughlead.com.au. And our website is livelaughlead.com.au. If you search that, we'll come up. And we'd love to connect with you. As I said, we'll give you a free report on how your site is ranking. We can talk about how we can help you. Any solutions related to mobile phone apps, website, search marketing, or anything else. If we can't help you, we've got a pretty good network, so we might be able to suggest some people who have got a good reputation to be able to help you with that.
And
so
we do a lot of that.
And we'd love to meet you, basically.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So people out there, there's no excuse. You've got their contact details. Jump online and get to know these ladies. And I can say that I 100% endorse them and I trust them because I've known them for a while, and they are basically straight as a die, and there's no BS behind it.
Yeah,
so
what you see
is what you
get.
Yeah, what you see, what you get. And if it's not working, they will tell you in a very compassionate way too.
Absolutely.
And not just that, offer you a better solution that perhaps you might not have seen. Okay.
Yeah.
So on that note, thank you very much, Jules Tarrant and Hailey Wilson from Live Laugh Lead. And these people are the people you want to get to know. So on behalf of Your Money and Your Mindset, thank you for spending this hour with us. God bless.
Absolute pleasure. Take care.
Thanks, Lloyd.
Bye.
Bye.
Today's podcast is brought to you by ObesityHotline.com, the silent killer, providing support and encouragement in the prevention of this rising epidemic. Featuring the Body by Vi Challenge. Is there a quick answer to the question? Go to www.obesityhotline.com. You're watching and listening to Conscious Evolution Media, shifting global consciousness at consciousevolutionmedia.com.